community. From veterans of foreign wars to hometown heroes, our diversity is our strength, and we forge our future with the same flame as our steel. Oh, there's a place in the Midwest, and it's calling you home. The best part of Portage is what's next. The best part of Portage is you. There's more for you in Indiana. There's a place in the Midwest, 50 miles southeast of Chicago, nestled near the coast of Lake Michigan. It's a place driven by what's coming next, a place where industry is the lifeblood of its community, and its pulse is gritted with sand and steel, fire and smoke. It's a city building its future together, one business, one family, and one home at a time. This is a place for makers, doers, and dreamers. It's where the global marketplace meets hometown values, where Americana isn't just a tradition, it's a way of life. Here, your experience makes the difference. With access to railroads, major waterways, and 8 different highways, this is a place in motion, sending goods, services, and ideas not just across the state, but across the world. And when the work ends, the day's just beginning. With beaches like West Beach in the Indiana Dunes National Park, exciting hiking and biking trails like the Diana of the Dunes Dare or the BMX track, and local treasures and exciting festivals, you'll know you're in more than just a bedroom community. From veterans of foreign wars to hometown heroes, our diversity is our strength, and we forge our future with the same flame as our steel. Oh, there's a place in the Midwest, and it's calling you home. The best part of Portage is what's next. The best part of Portage is you. There's more for you in Indiana. There's a place in the Midwest, 50 miles southeast of Chicago, nestled near the coast of Lake Michigan. It's a place driven by what's coming next, a place where industry is the lifeblood of its community, and its pulse is gritted with sand and steel, fire and smoke. It's a city building its future together, one business, one family, and one home at a time. This is a place for makers, doers, and dreamers. It's where the global marketplace meets hometown values, where Americana isn't just a tradition, it's a way of life. Here, your experience makes the difference. With access to railroads, major waterways, and 8 different highways, this is a place in motion, sending goods, services, and ideas not just across the state, but across the world. And when the work ends, the day's just beginning. With beaches like West Beach in the Indiana Dunes National Park, exciting hiking and biking trails like the Diana of the Dunes Dare or the BMX track, and local treasures and exciting festivals, you'll know you're in more than just a bedroom community. From veterans of foreign wars to hometown heroes, our diversity is our strength, and we forge our future with the same flame as our steel. Oh, there's a place in the Midwest, and it's calling you home. The best part of Portage is what's next. The best part of Portage is you. There's more for you in Indiana. There's a place in the Midwest, 50 miles southeast of Chicago, nestled near the coast of Lake Michigan. It's a place driven by what's coming next, a place where industry is the lifeblood of its community, and its pulse is gritted with sand and steel, fire and smoke.
Welcome everyone to the Storm Board meeting. Good, I always mix up storm and sanitary. Will you please stand and join me for the pledge? So we've got a roll call. Can we do the roll call?
Member Gore,
Here.
Mayor Bonta,
Here.
Member Petrovic,
Here.
Attorney McClure, Councilperson Weidenbach.
And she mentioned she wouldn't be able to make it. All right. Did everyone have a chance to look at the minutes from July 9th, 2026? And is there any motions or corrections on the minutes? Hearing none, is there a motion on them?
Motion to accept the minutes?
And I second them.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That'll get us to the staff reports. How's it going, Mr. Commenda?
I'm doing fine, mister. I see you, you're not water walking more? Nope. There's two of them. I wanted to bring it to their attention since it's going all over the place. Thank you. There's two different situations here. You want me to just read it?
Want to be able to follow along with your presentation.
Well, you might still have problems. Okay, first one I'd like to start off with is 6151 McCaslin. If you read the finding and results of this inspection, I just want to kind of let you, when you're done reading that, just let me know. Okay,
Dan, is this the one that tagged me on Facebook today?
yes.
Oh my goodness. So this was actually already on the agenda.
This, I was already going to talk about this, yes.
Cool.
So, yeah, so when you go down to Vidoc, you turn right on McCaslin. Okay, so when you come up past Drax and you come down, you turn right. It's a house on the right there. Now, if you go to the, well, I got the little thing here. If you go to the next page, right here, where it says property information. Okay, so that box that's right there is the park, recreational park property, okay?
It's the foundation's property? or-
Foundation,
Yeah.
yes, correct, okay? And her house is, you see where the green dotted line comes down? And that's her property right there. If you could read it, it's 002, 353002, okay? So, if you see that blue line that comes through there? That goes from across the ramps and goes that way? That used to be the old Chrisman ditch back in the day, okay? So we don't have no easements anywhere on any of these properties in the back or the park property, okay? Well, when the toll road came in, obviously they built these ramps, and a pipe comes across from where you see the R63696, it comes across from there, goes across, and then it goes around that whole ditch line right next to the ramp, all the way over to where that blue line, where it touches the blue line, where the line I was talking about that comes across through that property. Then there's a pipe that goes underneath the toll road right there. It goes across and it ends up by Camden Apartments, okay? And then from there, it goes underneath Willow Creek and goes back by the school and the football field and ends up dumping out by our new utility building over in that area, okay? So that's kind of, so we cannot really even legally go on this property and do anything for one thing, okay? Well, that pipe that goes under the toll road, Adam and Rob went out there, and there's so much sand in there, they were trying to take a rake and pull some of it out. It's pulling up on the other side. It's not getting to our side to go to the creek. We met with the toll road, with the representative of the toll road. What was his name again, Anthony? Anthony, okay? And we met, we showed him, they got a sinkhole on a pipe that comes underneath the ramp. They have this issue over here, we kind of showed them, said this needs to be all cleaned up. And not to mention, actually Cameron was there too, because his ponds hold water on the other side of the, and they're not supposed to hold water, correct? I think that's what you told me. So it's blocking up a lot of this water.
That's the toll road property? Is that fair?
Yes,
It's
that's
fair to
toll-
call it that, right?
Yes. So we met with the toll road, and the gentleman that we talked to said, you know, they're working on a lot of things. He goes, he's just getting to the storm and the ditches and things of that nature. He told us that he don't know if he would try to get to it sooner, but it might not be till September.
What is the physical work that has to be done by the toll road? Assuming that it's them getting to it by September, of course.
Yeah, they have to fix the sinkhole that's up there where that line where I said 63696, where it comes across to the west. There's a sinkhole, and they got little things around it. Okay, they need to fix that. Then they need to clean this ditch all the way around to that pipe, to where that blue line comes down and then it starts going west. They need to clean that out and then get that pipe cleaned out so that water can get from the north side of the toll road to the south side of the toll road. Okay? Now we have some stuff we have to do too. We already started. We kind of cleaned up the ditch and stuff behind Camden. We're actually gonna take the backhoe in there. We're gonna try to dig out some of it because there is a lot of erosion. There's some erosion stuff in there, so we want to get in there and clean that up. We've already started that, and then we got one section of pipe we also got to fix. So, but we've already started that work, you know, and eventually that'll be done. But until the toll road gets theirs done, that water's going to continue to sit on the north side, and it's not going to get across to the south side. Okay? So, and like I said, it's affecting the subdivision for Altoff and actually going towards Venus and all them roads over there in Lakewood. It's also kind of affecting that. So, Adam sent him an email. Did you send it today? Was it today or yesterday?
I sent it last week, and then I
Last-
followed it up on Monday of this week, and he's still working with his team to get a solution.
So it's,
Sure. Is this considered, and I'm not trying to be tough, but like, is this considered, because I mean, we've got a neighborhood, you know, developer, we've got residents on the other side impacted. Is there any, like, for lack of a better word, like enforcement power on us to make sure it gets fixed, or is the toll road its own animal? Like,
I
what?
think it's its own animal kind of, because that's, unless you go through the state maybe, because technically it's privately owned or leased. So but how, if, yeah, maybe attorney,
Putting the toll road on notice of the issue with an email and some pictures will suffice to put them on notice that we have this issue, which is really starts the process of making them responsible to begin the process of putting together a fix and fixing it.
And like I
Yeah.
say, if they're working to get it fixed by September, that sounds like they're moving on it. You know, I think if we get to November, December, you know,
Right.
and it's like we've got trouble, you know, we might know where to go up the totem pole, but this sounds like a really good start.
right. Well, like I said, it's just funny because I was planning on bringing this to everybody's attention because just in case, and of course, the next thing I hear, you know.
That's a miracle is what that is. That's just God making us all laugh.
Yeah, so anyway, and then, and I know the resident that lives there, she said she had an associate that went back there and she checked and there's not she said there's not a wetland. If you look at the second to last page, okay, you'll see a green circle in the woods right there. Okay, that is a wetland, all right? And the problem with that is even if somehow we could go in there and do some with that ditch, we cannot drain that wetland. So, you know.
Some of the water is just water that's there because it's a wetland.
Yeah, well,
it's-
if you do the toll road, it'll dry up a lot. But the thing is, you got the plants there, and once, you know, once it's deemed a wetland, you could go through the Army Corps and that, maybe get a permit to do something with it, but you might have to do mitigation for it. But we cannot dig that out to where we dry up that wetland, because that would cause us a little bit of issues. So, anyway, but I just wanted to kind of bring this to the board, and I was gonna do it anyway, because it's kind of a big problem, and explain what was going on, and of course, you know, it did hit social media, so I guess it worked out pretty good that I was gonna talk about that.
Social media is just our equivalent of like local news, like the old like, local newspapers. It's kind of turned into that, just less, I don't know, less fact checking and,
Yeah, so I just kind of, I got that for you, so now if you have any, anybody have any questions about that?
Yes, I had two. So the
Ma'am?
first one is for the resident that's at this property, is there anything that we could do for the resident in the meantime to make sure, like, we're on it, or
We're doing what, yeah.
accommodate them?
And like I said, until the toll road gets that water to come from the north to the south, I mean, once we do some of our stuff, it might help a little bit, but they have to get their pipe cleaned out. Like I said, was that 42 inch or 36 inch, Adam?
It's 42 or 48.
Yeah, it's a big pipe. I walked in that pipe before, years ago, and I told them they had an issue with it back then, because there was water coming in the joints. And you probably so you might as well figure the pipe's about this tall, probably, because I just gotta go like this to get through it. And you only got about that much space where it's filled with sand. That's all that's left is that much. So that's kind of the problem. So what happens is, when they do get rain, it will go over that blockage and then go to the pipe and go to the other side of the road.
Of the complainant, of the residence herself, is there water on her property, or is this off of her back property on the back lot?
It's in the back. The only problem is I don't know where her property starts and ends as far as them woods go, but you could see if you look at that picture, I don't know how many, I mean, I suppose I could take a wheel and guess.
It's roughly 10 to 25 feet up into her mowable grass as we speak today. I was out there today and spoke with her and touched base with her on everything because we hadn't given her update. Now she's aware. She seemed to be happy when I left the property.
I wish she'd taken a selfie with you and put that on the 411. That would have been a really nice update from this morning, but that's okay.
No, she was totally different than everything I've seen on Facebook. But she still thinks that her yard is a wetland, not deemed a wetland, but I tried to show her the county stuff and she just, I told her we were working on it, but ultimately the toll road's gotta do it.
And the last thing I was just saying, since it is a wetland, do we need to call anybody to make sure so nothing is like extinct, or, like the plants or like the environment, since it's deemed a wetland? Or no?
No,
It's just
like, for instance, off of Stone Avenue, if you come off Willow Creek to the left, you got them woods right there, there's wetlands in them woods. A lot of times you get that, because what happens, you get trees that fall and things of that nature, things get blocked up, and then the water sits, and that's what creates wetlands, when there was not a wetland there before. Because that's when you start getting the wetland plants popping up. And once someone goes out there, like John McQuestion, he might go out there and he says, oh yeah, there's wetlands. Even behind our property, by the plant and by my office, we actually have wetlands back there. And a lot of that is if it don't drain, you'll get wetlands. So,
And that's where they
unfortunately-
sometimes naturally go away too. Like we had an
Yeah, it
area
could.
that up north where we were like, oh, there's a bunch of wetlands up here, and then we sent, I think it was Mr. McQuestion, he's like, yeah, they're gone. And I'm like, what happened? But the situation changes in the area around it, and then they end up draining out. There wasn't I won't say there wasn't a human cause, because to be fair, Marina Shores was built nearby, so that might have played a role, but,
Right.
it's not as if they directly caused that.
Correct. And you get some dry summers, and if you don't get a lot of rain, a lot of snow, like the mayor said, that it could dry up and then plants go away. So,
But I think that's a good educational, I mean, there's people maybe even watching this, at home. So like a wetland, I know we think of a wetland as like a nature preserve, or there's always
Right.
something kind of cool there, and there often can be, you know, but a wetland is, I don't know if it's just fair to say it's like a legal definition, but it's a certain kind of place where certain kinds of plants are documented as growing. Is that fair to say it?
Yes, yes, and plus your aquatic life and things of that nature too, you know. It's tough when you try to balance, you know, city life with something that, you know, nature put there. You know, as we progress, you know, things are disappearing everywhere. So, and that's just kind of the, you know, I mean, we got deer in the middle of Portage because we built around their woods, and, you know, you can see them on Central Avenue, you can see them on Swanson. I mean, you know, you can see them back here sometimes. So, and that's just kind of the nature of the beast. When you start growing and expanding, you kind of trap them animals in, you know, a confined area. So, but, you know, it's kind of a tough thing, especially with the wetlands. Because, like I say, any kind of blockage that holds water, once you get that, you could create wetlands.
Is it possible, because I don't know the history of this property being part of the Park
Foundation,
Foundation, not that
yeah.
we really need to study that here, but like, do people sometimes just donate land to the Park Foundation when they don't think they can do anything else with it? I don't know if maybe that's, I don't know if you're an experience. Do we happen to have a lot of wetlands that happen to be on Park Foundation land? I'm watching Adam smile in the background.
I mean, sometimes that happens, yes. I mean, because basically, if you cannot build something on it, then it's not worth a developer going in there and paying X amount of dollars to try to develop it. Right, Mel?
That's correct. You know, Army Corps of Engineers generally has designations for those certain areas. And it used to be years ago that if you mitigated it, you had to find another site within 5 miles.
Right,
And
yep.
it had to be 3 times as large as the wetland itself. So there's a lot of parameters in place that kind of,
Right. And they have classes of wetlands too. Like with Veterans Avenue. That was a different kind of class, and they were given the okay to do what they needed to do there.
Right? Well, I guess,
so the issue here though is the subdivision draining. That's the biggest issue here, right?
Yeah, that's one of them. Well, this lady thinks it's pretty big for her too, obviously. And like I said, we're working on it, but, you know, like I said, I just wanted to make everybody aware of it, because, you know, I just in case if someone said anything, you guys would have the knowledge to say, okay, yes, we know about this. This is what's happening, and, you know, that way you don't get blindsided by somebody.
Are we talking about an owner on the other side or a tenant?
Yeah, there's the owner. She's at that zero.
Okay.
If you look at it's kind of hard to see, but it's where that green dotted line comes down.
Right.
And the last 3 numbers are 002. It's 353002. That is her property.
It's the one with the star on it.
Oh, I did put a star on some of them.
Yeah.
I didn't put
I got
a
the
star on
star
all
on
of them, but I did put a star on that one. Oh, you got the lucky star.
How long has she been there? Do we know?
I don't, she said something about 30 years, but that wasn't the case. It was like 12, 13 years? Yeah. Because we looked, you know, when you look it up on the county, you can see when stuff changes hands. And according to that, Joe Everts told me 12, 13 years.
Okay.
Okay?
unless there's other questions, I think Dutch Mill?
Yes, I didn't know, okay, so, he was on the agenda, but I do not see the gentleman here, Mr. Glover.
I spoke to him, he said he'd be here.
Okay, well, I was gonna wait till he talked, but, okay, so, if you wanna read the findings and results of this too, you can kinda look through that real quick. what's that, I'm sorry? Yeah, I could, both of these? Yeah. Yeah, I can get them to you. Okay, so, anyway, if you see the drain that's right there in the driveway, okay, he called and like it says, he basically wants to lower the curb, and he wants us to do it, and I told him, I said, look, I cannot change that because there's nothing wrong with it. Rob went out there and he said, you know, it needs a little bit of mud around the top of the pipe. If you look at the picture on the right, you can see right in there, he said it needs some mud in there, but he didn't see no sand or anything in there. This gentleman said he was gonna do his driveway, and I told him, and if you look at, you see the green line in the middle page? That's his sanitary line. It goes right underneath his driveway. So we told him that you might want to camera that to make sure there's nothing wrong with that line, so that you don't want to put a new driveway in and 6 months later then you have an issue with your sewer line. So you know, it was up to him if he wanted to do it or not. He did. He said it looked fine. So, well, that's good. Okay. I told him though, I can't tear out all this curb and lower that without the board telling me I could do that. I go, if there's nothing wrong with it, I can't do that. You know, if there's nothing wrong with it, I can't do that. And I know it's kind of tough, and I know, and I tried to explain to him, and I'm sure Mel knows this too, when they do their subdivision, they put all these curbs in, okay? So then someone buys a lot. They want this style of house, and sometimes their driveway has to be in a certain spot. And what happens is you might go, it might be the low spot, so you get this curb on, this high bat curb drain on there, okay? And I know there's a couple in Cardinal Crossing, I've seen them, okay? They do have a style where it goes like, it's called low profile, it kind of comes up like this. I offered this gentleman, I said, you know, show me a plan. I go, I can't do this because there's nothing wrong with it. If there was a sinkhole there, yeah, I could do it. You know, if we had it tore out anyway, we could do it. I go, but otherwise, you know, there's all kinds of residents that go and saw cut. I don't know if you ever noticed a saw cut on their curb to make it easier to get in and out for their cars. But I cannot dig something up and replace it that there's nothing wrong with, is what I told him. I said, now, if the board told me to do it, that would be a different case.
Has the board ever done that for somebody?
We've never done that for anybody.
Yeah, without the resident being here to ask and explain, I don't really feel comfortable just given that. I don't know, I also don't want to be rude to the fact that if he came and gave his case and it made sense, I don't know, he'd have to come and talk. But, no, I appreciate you explaining what we can and can't do without the board approval.
Right. So it would, you know, I told him, I said, I just can't do that. I can't spend user money because we got so many of these in the city, you know, we'd have to do them all. And
Is the issue that he wants us to do it, or is the issue that he wants it done, period? Like, say somebody wanted to pay for it entirely their own,
Well,
but would they still need our permission, and would there still be an issue?
Yes, that's why if you look on here where it said you have to submit a plan to me. Because
Gotcha.
for them to do the curb, they have to give me a plan. He had said something about wanting to just cut the top of the casting off. I said, no, you're not going to be able to do that. He said, well, who can I ask? I go, well, you could ask our fearless engineer. I go, but he's probably going to tell you the same thing. So, but I did offer to give him the casting because we actually had one in the back. And his apron has sunk a little bit. You can kind of see it has sunk. And when Rob went out there, he said that he don't believe that it's anything to do with going into our structure. So he was out in the field. He's the one, you know, that told us that. But like I said, I can't do that without, you know, you guys would have to say yes, do this. So, and then he went, after we talked to him, of course, he went to several different people at the city. I think he called the street. He called Tom Cherry or went up there and you know, he said that no one talked to him for 4 to 6 weeks or something. And I always write down when I talk to people. So he called on 6:30. That was his first call. And you got to realize that's the 4th of July week, so we didn't have a lot of people. But we completed inspection on 7/6 and returned the call the same day. Joe Evers talked to him, and Rob talked to him, and then I talked to him again on 7:30 at 10:39. So just to kind of, we have been responsive, so, I
Without
don't-
him being here, do we need to do any sort of motion to table this? Or is it more of just if he comes to the next meeting, Dan can kind of do the same thing he was doing here?
I think you just continue the matter to the next meeting.
oh, anybody have any
I-
questions about this?
Motion to continue the Dutch Mill issue.
I second that.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, now
Thank
from my department thing, I'll be quick, though. We had sweeper down, it's fixed, actually, it was the one that went down during the 4th of July parade, so that is fixed and operational now. We're still kind of working on, we got a vac truck that has some issues. It's operational, but it has an oil leak, and we're keeping a close eye on it. So we'll be doing that pretty soon. If you get a chance, our mechanics, we bought them, I can tell the next board too, but we bought them these jacks that, because right now, these guys take the vac trucks and they roll them up on 2x6s, just so Jamie can crawl underneath there to work on anything underneath, okay? Well, we bought this system where you put it on each side of the truck and it lifts it right up. So, it's just a lot easier for them, and probably a lot safer. If you get a chance, maybe go down there and look at them. If anybody has a chance, go out and have Jamie show them to you. So, it's really nice. It'd be a lot easier, a lot quicker too, because there's nothing worse than, trying to wrench something when you're laying and going like this. So, anybody got any questions?
I have one question. On the sweeper, on the claims, was that the 24,000 for a fuse for the sweeper?
Yes, yes. Yeah, we actually had someone from outside because it was a mess. And they came and worked on it, and then they had to order parts, and it was down, it's been down a while. Okay? Yeah, I know. Believe me, I know. Thank you all. Anybody else? No? Okay.
No, I just wanted to applaud you about that one project that you did for the sinkhole. I live around over there in Mulberry, and I just want to say kudos to you and your team
Oh,
about that
thanks.
project of the sinkhole. You guys did it fashionably fast and modest and no complaints or nothing. So I just want to give a shout out and kudos to you and your team getting that sinkhole fixed.
Well, I appreciate it. We try to do the best we can, and sometimes it takes a little patience, but we try to do the best we can.
Thank you so much. And then, Dan, did we miss the timber stone, or was that
Oh, that's the variance that probably John will come up and talk about it probably.
Oh, sure thing. If you're comfortable. I believe so, because we did Dutch Mill, we talked about the other, and we don't have any unfinished business, so I think that'll put us in a new business for the timber stone.
Yeah, I think Cameron might want to start. Yep.
Good afternoon. My name is Cameron Wignall. I'm a project manager for Olthoff Homes. I'm here today to request a total of 4 variances for the Timberstone subdivision on Airport Road. If you could bear with me a little bit. I'm gonna go a little bit out of order here. So I'll start with a couple variances that the board is already familiar with, as they were recently approved for, sorry.
Could I ask you, where is this? I see Airport Road, but I.
Yeah, so it is directly south of the Target that's currently being built, and then directly north of the Farmington subdivision, the Providence subdivision. We're right in between there. So like I said, I'm going to go a little bit out of order if you don't mind. I'll start with two variances that the board is already familiar with, as they were just approved on the Sweetwater project. Those are, the first is Chapter 5, Section D, Item 2, 100-year elevation of stormwater retention detention facilities shall be separated. Oh, I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. I apologize. Let me find where I'm at real quick. Sorry, so we'll start with Chapter 5, Section E, Item 6. So that would be number 3 on your list here. For maintenance purposes, the outlet of storm sewers entering the pond shall be a minimum of half a foot above the normal pool level. We are requesting that the storm structures be at normal water level, but no lower. As I mentioned, this is a similar variance that we requested for Sweetwater that was granted. The reasoning for this is there are some challenges with where our site outlets elevation-wise, so we kind of have to adjust the structures going into that pond to make up for those challenges. The second I'm requesting that was similar to Sweetwater is the last one on your list here. It's Chapter 6, Section G. Minimum drop of 1/10 of a foot through manholes in inlet structures should be provided. We do have, there's a total of 4 structures that is considered public infrastructure that we're requesting this variance for, and all of the privately maintained storm sewer. And if you remember from the previous request we did for Sweetwater, Mr. Hannon did a good job of explaining storm sewers are typically self-cleaning. You get a heavy storm event, water flows through them, and they're pretty self-cleaning. So oftentimes it negates the need for this 1/10 of a foot drop. So we are requesting a variance from that as well. The third variance that I'm requesting is from Chapter 5, Section D, Item 2. The standard states that the 100-year elevation of stormwater retention detention facilities shall be separated by not less than 50 feet from any building or structure to be occupied. The lots that are affected by this are lots 48, 49, 64, and 65. So those are the lots that surround Pond A as shown on the map. These are all affected by this variant, or by the variance. However, the worst case scenario we have is the northeast corner of lot 49. If you see at the top right corner there, we show a measurement of 40 feet. That is the worst case scenario. The rest are all under 50 feet, but above 40. So we are requesting that that the standard go from 50 feet to no less than 40 feet. This variance was requested at the River Trace development and accepted at that time by the Stormwater Board. So this is something that we've presented to the city before. Lastly, yes, thank you. Lastly, from Chapter 2, Table A, storm sewer pipe and structures up to 6 feet in depth from top to pipe to invert must have a minimum easement of 20 feet or 10 feet from center line of the pipe. We are requesting a reduction in that easement from 20 feet to 14 feet, so 7 feet from either side of the pipe. This run affected is the run between lots 60, 61, 62, and 63, as you'll see it's highlighted in red there. Given the layout of these buildings, we just simply didn't have the room to accommodate a 20-foot easement. I will state that this is considered to be private storm sewer, so the maintenance of this storm sewer would fall on the homeowners association rather than the city. Additionally, the material of the storm pipe we use is reinforced concrete. We use that on all our public and private infrastructure. It's very durable. The maintenance will be less frequent than a plastic style pipe. So we don't anticipate there being much need for access to this easement for maintenance. So just to sum it up, we're requesting a total of 4 variances for Timberstone, and I would be happy to field any questions that you may have.
So I would ask our engineer, because again, I understand that these are similar variances or the same that have been requested in other neighborhoods, but this is a different location, you know, and variances are often, oh, that one's not working.
Hello?
Oh, the mic is working, not the camera, so you're good with the mic. I think we're okay if people can hear you, unless you want to be on
They
camera.
don't need to see me.
That's up to you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I guess what I'm wondering is, variances are based on a couple of factors, you know, to make sure that we know that we're either something's being mitigated or made up for, you know, in some other way.
Right.
Or there's something about the rule where, based on the conditions of the land, I don't mean to say we don't have to worry about the rule, but sometimes the rule doesn't apply based on the quality of the land, right? And then basically, what's the combination here to make sure that this neighborhood stays appropriate?
That's good. This is, if you're familiar with the development at all, it's a planned unit development. So it's a higher density development as reviewed and approved by the Plan Commission. So if you look at the layout, you'll see that the townhomes, and I think those are villas or duplexes,
Correct.
are closer together than would you see typically in a standard zoning district. This project has been reviewed and approved at the Plan Commission level, I believe, right, Cameron?
I am not 100% sure it's gone through Plan Commission yet.
Okay.
I know we've gone
Well-
through a number of rounds of staff
Okay,
comments.
it's gone through staff. Maybe you're going to Plan Commission?
I
at
think
the
we're on next month's agenda.
So they'll be at the Plan Commission, but it is a planned unit development, so they went through a preliminary development plan. I think it had to go to the city council for PUDs have to go to the city council, I believe. So
I know
basically,
that there
we're
have been
talking
things,
about.
but I want to be careful because I'm not quite sure the whole history. I apologize, that's a memory issue on my part.
Talking about higher density than typical with smaller setbacks than is normal. So if you look at let's start with the first one, the reduction of the easement. So those buildings, 61, 60, 62, and 63, if I understand it, are about 14 feet apart. That's the total separation between the buildings. So there's really, if the Plan Commission is going to approve that, that proximity, that's only how big the easement could be. Dan and I, the question we would have is if or when that pipe needs to be maintained in any way, how could you get a piece of equipment between those two buildings? I'm not sure that 14 feet is adequate for any kind of backhoe to actually operate and swing, the arm in any direction. We're somewhat concerned about just the distance between the buildings in that location. We think maybe it makes sense to separate those buildings a little, get those buildings a little further away from each other. And then we wouldn't have to have that variance. So that would be number one. Number two, the standard is 50 feet. They're asking for us to reduce it to not less than 40 feet. I personally don't have a problem with that. I think that with this layout, this is a nice layout in terms of the pond and the building location. So I'd be perfectly fine.
During the, I'm sorry to interrupt, during the, I want to say, presentation, the opening, you said that, maybe I misheard you, you said that would impact, of course, looking at the map, 64, 65, 48, 49. Is one going to be undeveloped, or am I looking at a lot that says number 1 on the right-hand corner?
Number one, I think, is a dog park.
That's a dog park, so
Dog
it's an
park?
amenity
Oh, okay, so
feature.
yeah, gotcha.
So what
That's why
they've
you
done,
mentioned it, yeah.
in order to gain the density, and that would be a Plan Commission discussion, in order to gain this density, they've added some features to the property. One of them is the dog park, and then you'll also see the Outlot A, I think is a recreational
Yeah,
park.
it's a, yeah, park, seating area, walking trail.
Yeah, so they've created some green space in order to get the density bonuses. And so number one is the dog park, to answer your
John?
question.
I hate to stop you. I am gonna stop you.
Please.
I'm not a real fan of giving any kind of variances when we don't have plan commission approval. And it sounds like some of this stuff might change.
And I'm
So-
kind of in the same boat, and I say that respectfully, because as a plan commission member, I always preferred it where it went to us first, and then even if we had to approve things with contingencies based on coming back to this board, it kind of puts the plan commission sometimes in a trap when you get permission here, and then they've got the most, I don't know what the right word is, ability to say, we've already got it, so you can't deny anything based on that. You know what I mean?
I'd rather
I think
table
that's
it.
great. I think that's great. Just to give you a status where we are. So on July 13th, we did our probably first review of the subdivision and noted these issues, among other things. We have, frankly, 20-some comments on the, 26 comments on the plans. These were 4 of the comments. The applicant chose to get on the agenda and be here today, so.
And again, I
I'm open
appreciate what you
to-
guys are doing. I think the neighborhood is a great setup, and like the goal is really good. I think that kind of to Mel's point, there's kind of a cart and a horse, and again, I don't even know if it's a right or wrong. I just think that kind of the style of the city is we've got the cart and the horse in a certain place, you know?
I'd rather table it for right now and get your plan commission approval and then come back here. That's what I'd like to see you do.
So I motion to table this matter at a different time.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you. I've lost my agenda. I'm sorry.
you.
Oh, here it is. I found it. All right. Did everybody have a chance to take a look at the claims? Were there any questions in the claims or comments or motions?
Motion to pay the claims for $60,920.90.
And I second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Any other business proper to be brought before the board? Were you looking to get an update on Brant? Not to guess. Feel free to come up and say what you like. I just feel like I know that, you know, that's the case. And Mr. Hannon, if you have any update based on our last, what we got?
Plans are complete, subject to finding financing.
You had a chance to take a look at the plans?
No, I was told last time that they weren't available.
Oh, I think they are available now.
Certainly.
Would you like to talk to Mr. Hannon after this meeting
Sure.
closes and we can show you the
Can I
plans?
show you one picture?
Of course. And yesterday kind of hit us all hard, so I cannot imagine what you guys went through. Yeah, that's ridiculous, and I know it. Thank you. And like I say, I'm happy to be there too, because I actually have not completely seen the plans. I've seen a picture of them, but if you and your family would like to see it, we'd make sure you get to see it. And then, like I say, my job on it, Mr. Hannon has done his job. My job is to put the money together to pay for those plans to be done, so.
Okay.
All right, any other matters? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
I motion the meeting to end.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.